I'm Rob. This is Venturi Fab, and I gotta stop playing with my junk and start using it. So, in about 6 weeks, August 14th through 16th, there's an event, a coming together, a gathering, if you will, at the Rubicon. I will put a link in the description to the info on that if you're local or if you want to be local that weekend and go wheeling with me. Check that link out. And it's a for everyone kind of thing. So the more the merrier. You're more than welcome to attend. It is not like a guided tour through the Rubicon, right? It's just another guy. I think this is the first year they're doing it. Kind of set it up, and it's more of just like a everyone bring your cool truck. The bigger the better. We're going to run some crap over. We're going to camp. We're going to barbecue. It's going to be a good time, so join. So, if you're, like I said, if you're local or you feel like being local that weekend, I'd love to have you guys. If you go, drop down in the comments or shoot me a message on Instagram or whatever and let me know. Love to meet you. Love to run stuff over with you. So, with that being said, I've got 6 weeks to finish Merle, which is fantastic for me. Because, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit of a rabbit holer. You know, I'm a little bit of a, while I'm in there, I might as well kind of guy. And so having a hard deadline helps me kind of rein that in and just be like, okay, this is what actually has to get done. Bam, 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 bam. All this extra, oh, it'd be really cool. That stuff's going to have to wait. This channel's not going anywhere. We're here for the long haul, so there'll be plenty of time later to do more upgrades. Don't you worry. That being said, if you're new here, subscribe, comment, share, you know, all that stuff that YouTube wants you to do. Helps me grow, helps keep you informed of when we're doing cool stuff and upgrades, and we got a ton of projects coming up in the future on this channel. It's not all just a bunch of Square Buddy stuff. You know, if you're one of my people over on Instagram and whatnot, you got a little idea of what's coming up. Some cool stuff. So, that being said, it's America's birthday today. So, this is kind of a shorter weekend, right? I got a good chunk of today, and then we got family stuff later. And then tomorrow I got to take my daughter to camp. So, we are going to make our list. Divide and conquer. Get Merle done. Get Merle on the trail. So we're going to go through and do our list first. I just said that. I don't know. I find just having a list, I can keep it in the truck. I can pin it on my shop door. Whatever. Helps me zone it all in. And then we can just start crossing stuff off. And it feels great to cross stuff off. So wherever you're at with your project, if you ain't got a list, make a list. So I'll go through the best. I'm sure I'll end up adding more stuff to this. So, number one, we got to get the roll cage done. So those aluminum panels need to get done, and it needs to get back in here. So before I can put the roll cage in, we need to finish the wiring under the dash. And all we're doing with that is cleaning up the factory wire because it's all jumbled. And at some point, the previous owners added like one of those old school like aftermarket immobilizer alarm things, and those always get, you know, wire tapped in, and the guys that install those back in the day just do such a horrible job. But I get it, you know, you're trying to just bang them out and get paid, but it's not good for me. It's not good for now when we want stuff to be nice. So we need to finish the wiring under the dash. We need to do our kick panel mounts. That should be everything inside the car that we need to do. So we need to make our aluminum panels so I can finish welding the roll cage, reassemble the dash once it's all together. If you missed the earlier episodes, my roll cage goes through the dash, so I can't put the dash back together until the roll cage is in. That puts the cage in. Then we need to tie the cage in on the bottom of the cab. So we're going to tie it into the sliders and into the rear bumper that we also need to build in the next few weeks. Eventually it'll get a tire carrier, but for right now we're just going to get the main structure, and if I have time I'll add that part, but I doubt it because I know me. My Hydro Assist ram showed up yesterday, so we're going to have the Hydro Assist. I already rebuilt the box and ported it, so it's going to be making the mounts on the axle to tie it in, which will be fun because we're a high steer axle, so my steering tie rod is in a not convenient place for doing the mounts. I'm going to have to do some sort of tower or something. I'll figure that out shortly. Alright, and then the last major thing, and it's going to be the first thing that we jump into here, is we're not going to do that, but I'm going to explain something. We are going to clock the T-case. So right now, I put my front drive shaft in, and the problem is when my suspension drops, right, the front ear drive shaft drops with your differential, and it makes the double cardan joint, the CV joint that's at the transfer case, contact the factory crossmember. So we need either to rotate the transfer case up or notch that crossmember. I'm going to go the route of rotating the transfer case up as long as I'm able to. I ordered the clocking plates. They should be here sometime this week, so that'll be next week's video. Should be rotating the T-case or putting the roll cage in. We'll see. But I'm going that route for a couple reasons. As long as it'll work, it's going to gain me ground clearance because we're taking that big hanging crossmember, or that big hanging transfer case, and moving that mass up towards the body. Then I can clearance the bottom of that crossmember and gain a little bit more ground clearance underneath it. And in doing that, it moves the mounting point for the drive line up and away from that factory notch in the crossmember, creating the room that it needs to drop down. Alright guys, let's start crossing stuff off. So step one, always kill power when you're doing electrical. There's a little electrical control panel for the truck and the dual batteries. So I'm going to yoink these seats out real quick, and this is what we're cleaning up. I've got kind of some of it tied up because I was doing all this roll cage stuff, but like, this ain't okay. We're not, like, this is all factory stuff. Like, we're not doing that. All that on the other side. Wiring's one of those things that's pretty boring to watch, and realistically I'm just going to be laying under the dash, tying stuff up, rerouting things, making it look a little bit cleaner because I'm never going to be able to get into it this easy again once this cage goes back in. So I want to handle this now, just as a little forethought. We're not rewiring it. I'm not undoing and redoing a bunch of stuff. We're just making this a little bit cleaner so that it's more serviceable in the future when the issues will arise, because this is a 45-year-old truck, right? There's going to be issues. So, we can get to it. Like I said, I've added a couple things to this, but this wiring is like largely not my doing. This is what I was left with, or not left with, but how it came. Wiring and it's hot, so modern problems require modern solutions. up the speakers, but here we are. Remember how nasty all that was? Like I said, radio still needs to be hooked up. Get some better light. Everything, this is all clear now for the cage. Got this rib nutted on. Way more better. I also got the tack with a Deutsch connector. So now that's easy to pop in and out. There we go. One down, 80 to go. All right, so we got the wiring sorted, everything except for the radio, because I might do a little bit different than what's going on in there, time allowing. We will see. So I'm going to take Merle for a little test drive this morning here, because he's going to be not drivable for a while we do like the hydro boost. Thank you, Rooster. While we do like the hydro boost and get the roll cage back in and the panels and all that crap. So honestly, like I want to cruise him and go get freshly motivated, because I got a busy 6-ish weeks ahead of me to get this guy ready to go run stuff over the Rubicon. So let's go for a cruise. well, that concludes our broadcast day. Got a little test on Merle, got this wiring done, got whatever else I get done. And he gets down to his four-wheel drive's working real good. I just wanted to test everything out now that I got drive shafts in and all that. That front shaft definitely hits. Oh boy, it hits. That's all right though. We're gonna clock that case up in the next week or two once that adapter arrives to rotate that guy up. And remember, if you don't get started not going down freaking rabbit holes and dragging a bunch of junky old cars home so you can work on them later and keep your channel growing, you'll never get finished.